Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Pazuzu, also Philip J. Fry, coming at you guys with a other podcast. This time I'm just going to be doing it by myself. I'm just going to play some Hearthstone too while I answer some questions on a post that I made on the forum. I'm also just going to be talking about some things in regards to the PBE, my player, and just some general statistics and overview of the season coming up, even though, the season did start today. Um, so just gonna be playing some PvE. That way I could try to focus more on the questions and everything like that as well. So first up, like I said, I did make a post on the website and did get a couple questions. Did get a few questions from Keegan, so I'll be going over those questions first. And we'll discuss those while I'm just playing a game. Let me just pick some cards real quick. Sure. So, the first question Keegan asked me was in regards to pretty much a comparison between the Aviators and the Voyagers, the team that I'm on. And he wanted me to list 5 reasons that I would think the Aviators would finish above the Voyagers, and 5 reasons why the Voyagers would finish above the Aviators. So, first, I'll be discussing why, for the 5 reasons I think the Voyagers would finish above the Aviators first. So, I was looking over the teams, I was looking at the players we had and the history and stuff like that, pretty much since I've been there. And from what I was looking at, there were a couple of things that I did notice that would, benefit us or have us in favor of finishing above the Aviators this season. One of those is the starting pick. I believe we have better depth of starting pitchers on our team. So, I mean, if we take a look at our starting pitchers, we have we've got Sinclair, we've got Striker, we've got Sturgill Rove, and we've got just picked up a new free agent Darnell Turner as well. Um, Definitely think our depth is a lot better than the Aviators, and the Aviators do have Mickey Banks. J.R. Wilson's really good too as well. They recently got a new starting pitcher in the draft. Is actually already starting for them, Ace Faulkner. I know he did start the past game. Um, he didn't do too well. He did ended up getting a loss, going 0 for 1. He has a 9 ERA as of right now. And I mean, if you just look at our players compared to theirs, we primarily do have more players with higher TPE earnings as well. So I mean that's pretty substantiary for why I think we would have a better starting pitcher rotation. Um, Also, another aspect of why I think we would have finished above the Aviators, my second point, would be our catchers. We have Laddie, who's a phenomenal catcher. Laddie pretty much only has stats built into, I believe, his right-handed batters. Let me just double check that really quick. Yeah, versus right-handed batters, Laddie has like 77 contact. I mean, Laddie's been one of the best catchers, I think, personally, in the league for a while. So it's like for the past few seasons. Let's take a look at Laddie's stats. Laddie first season batted 343. 299, 264, 270, 278. So I mean, one season for Laddie didn't do the best. It's still 260 average, which is pretty good. And I mean, from the catcher position, if you're getting on base, if you're hitting like that, it's great. It's phenomenal that you're contributing from the catcher position. And not only do we have Laddie, we also have, second year player now, Nate Piazza, who's going to be, a really big threat in our lineup, later this year, or in the next few seasons as well. He's just gonna, he's gonna be pretty much a cleanup hitter, a five hitter, because of the power that he's gonna have. I mean, he's pretty much. I think everybody understands what he's doing with his player right now. So, I mean, that's pretty much what'll be happening in regards to him. And so far this season, he's not doing too bad either. He's batting 242. For through the first sim, which isn't the best, but it's still something. It's all right. Um, let's see. He has two RBIs as of right now. But I mean, compared to the Aviators catcher, Billy Baxter, I believe. I just want to make sure I'm getting that right. I don't want to. I don't remember everything. I'm sorry. I'm just pulling up so many tabs open. Billy Benson. I mean, Billy Benson's doing pretty well as of right now. Batting 270 is a home run. Two RBIs. So, I mean, I guess we could see what's gonna happen along the way. What'll actually occur with everything that is going on. So, but I definitely think that we're a team to be reckoned with. Maybe not this season, like I said, but maybe next season or something like that. And definitely, Piazza and Laddie are going to be helping with that. Um, Now, the third point I wanted to bring up was I wanted to name some specific players as well. Um, even though I already pretty much have. um, I wanted to mention Pepe Alzar. Definitely think Pepe is one of, he is the best player on our team pretty much as of right now, even though FTR has gone inactive because of, personal reasons and his computer and everything like that, which, happens. Completely understand that. But I mean, even so, this player still is, a phenomenal hitter. I mean, we could take a look at his stats as well. Let me just pull them up. Okay, Pepe was, let's see. So, first season batted 311, 336, 283, 297, 293. So, pretty much every season he's batted above 280. He doesn't really contribute too much to home runs. He hasn't had above double digits any year that he has played. But I mean, he's always getting on base. He's able to produce runs. He's able to produce hits. Um, a lot of doubles. So he's a nice guy to have, like, in the front of the lineup. Like if as of right now, Clem's batting first. So if Clem can get on base, he's somebody that could drive him in early or possibly get two runners in scoring position. And definitely compared to the Aviators outfielders. I mean, Jake Stan's good. He's a good player as well. They also have Slade McDykel, John Doe, um, Kellen Buchanan has played 5 games. Jordan Von Matt has played 4 games. But I mean, none of them have really, produced on the same level as Pepe has for pretty much his whole career. So I definitely put center field or just him specifically over the outfielders for the Aviators. Um, Now that was the third point that I mentioned. The fourth point actually is another outfielder on the team for the for us Voyagers, and that would be our newly added free agent and Paul Russell. And like I said before, I mean, I think the Aviators have good outfielders. I don't believe that they're the best offensively. Um, Last year, the Aviators did struggle a lot offensively, especially with you know, I mean, if you take a look at Mickey Mookie Banks, is if you just look at his stats and how well he did, a lot of it was because the Aviators struggled offensively, and if they were able to contribute more offensively, then they would, you know, Mookie would have had a better record, and the Aviators probably would have had a better record overall as well. And so definitely, definitely, Hulk Russell is one of those players that I think, like I said, is better or can like spark something for our team. He's, you know, another like cleanup hitter that's going to be batting right next to Nate. So if we're able to get him up in the first inning with runners in scoring position, he's able, hopefully he's able to get some home runs or something on the board. You know, um, so definitely Hulk Russell. Let's take a look at his stats from last year. 1 second, and I'll pull him up. I know Hulk didn't do the best um, the beginning of last year. Let's see, Hulk Russell batted 204 last year. He had 14 home runs, 64 RBIs. I mean, his average was kind of low, but, you know, he's going to be a home run hitter. He was drafted the same year that me, Phil J. Fry, and Clem were drafted, so that's that's really cool. He's definitely doing a lot more work than I am right now. He's pretty much averaging 15 home runs a year, and we needed a big power bat. Because as of right now, like I said, Nate's going to be one of those guys. I could be like a extra base hit kind of guy eventually, but we're still growing. We're still like a young team. So once we get the TPE coming in, once we do everything we can. A lot of us do have jobs as well, like jobs getting money, so it's definitely going to help us out that, um, you know, the more we can be able to produce as a team and as individual players. Um, so like I said, yeah, that would be my fourth pick, fourth reason why I think we'll finish above the Aviators. And now this reason isn't really much of a reason besides me just being a jerk, I guess. But I mean, this one's pretty much just geographically that I think New York is better than North Carolina, where Outer Banks is. So I mean, we have better pizza, better location. I have family that lives in North Carolina, so it's not like anything crazy. But we're gonna be we have better pizza, we have better food, just in general, really. So it's not like a better place to be. I mean, the New York media can sometimes eat you alive, but New York's a nice place. I love this team. It's a great team to be a part of, and I wouldn't want to be a part of any other team right now. So, I mean, that would be my fifth meme pick. But for my fifth real pick, I would probably have to say, you know, just our GM and co-GM, both Singer and Clem. I mean, they both have done really well, with the team this past offseason, drafting, signing players. Like I said, like Hawk Russell, we brought in Darnell Turner as well. and even the players that we did draft, Lucas North, George McBash. We also got Luke Storm, and you know these guys. They're young guys who are active on the Discord, who are always talking, looking for some sort of pointers, which is awesome. It's exactly what you look for in like a rookie, just wanting to be a part of the game and wanting to be active. And the more active they are, the more likely that that they're gonna be here to play and want to win. So that's it's awesome. I mean, I haven't known them very long, but I really enjoy hanging out with them, talking to them during the games. Even just playing games or anything like that. It's a lot of fun. I love the Voyagers locker room, and I feel like because we all mesh so well, it is like another bonus. Um, why we may play well as well. Um, so now, sadly, I'm gonna have to go on to the 5 reasons why I think we'll finish below the Aviators. Um, and one of those reasons is primarily of bullpen depth, more specifically in regards to relief pitching and closing, setting up pitchers. Even though most of the time there isn't really a lot of setup pitchers being used. I mean, as of right now, I do have Lucas North in the bullpen being used as a relief pitcher who is a rookie, so it's hard to contribute a lot and be not active, but make a statement, I guess, as like starting pitcher or relief pitcher in your first year, or just any position really, depending on the situation. So, I mean, the Voyagers, not the Voyagers, I'm sorry, the Aviators, they got Smalls Jr. This past year. They got Karpatsov or Karpetsov. I'm not sure how to say the name. I mean, two awesome closers. Buddy McKnight, I know he's done all right the past couple of years, like pitching wise. But I mean, primarily just between Smoltz and Hanu. I'm just gonna call him Hanu. It's they definitely have the edge over us in regards to that. If it's a close game late in the game, the only person that we can really rely on as of right now is Grotzinger, even though, and this is only his second year in the league too. So it's definitely one of the weakest spots of our team, I believe as well. So it's sorry about that. I thought I heard something. Um, you know, Definitely one of the weakest parts of our team. So it would be it's going to be hard to beat those two. Now, the second point I would have to say about the Aviators and why they would finish above the Voyagers would be because of Mookie Banks. I feel like Mookie Banks is a phenomenal pitcher. Um, Even though Mookie has only been in the league for a few years because of being like a recreate and everything like that. This is Mookie's third year, and I mean, his stats aren't the best. Like I said, last year he went 3-15, and I mean the first year he did decent too, 4-6, and he's just gonna get progressively better. I mean, at least this year he already has a win underneath his belt, and I mean the guy can do no wrong. It's you know, even like the games he does pitch and they keep him close. It's the thing was is that like I said, it was offensively that the Aviators weren't really able to you know close it down or keep it locked down, or sometimes because of the relief that they didn't have, and that's why they acquired Smoltz. And with that, I feel like Monkey's going to have a really good year this year, especially with the other free agent acquisitions that they did get. Um, pretty much who I'll mention in a few minutes. I just want to talk about Mookie a little bit more. Um, let's take a look at his stats for last year. Yeah, like I said, he only had 3 years. Three wins. I'm sorry. He had 15 losses. But he did have an ERA of less than 4. So, like I said, it really. Sorry about that. I dropped something. It really does come down to, like I said, offensive production and relief pitching. If he's not able to pitch a full game, you got to put the relief pitchers in, and they have to be able to hold that lead or try to, stop the other teams from scoring and racking up those runs. If he was able to hold them to, like 3 or 4 runs a game, and he was still losing, it's either that or offensive production. The team wasn't producing enough, and they weren't able to put up any sort of runs or anything like that. And I know he's had a number of quality starts last year. I can't see, I can't find that stat right now. I don't know where that would be, or maybe if it would be somewhere else on the index, but I'd like to take a look to see. Hmm. If I find it, I'll let you guys know. But I'll move on. Don't want to just sit here and not say much. Now, the third reason why, like I said, is going to be the other free agent acquisition that the Aviators had for, that record-breaking deal. I think it was 24 million. Is going to be Connor McDonald. Um, I love McDonald. McDonald is a phenomenal player. It's crazy how much he can contribute to a team. Um, from the last time we talked about him, I do believe he said he is a contact hitter archetype. And his past, let's take a look at his past stats as well. 295, 353, 364, 356, 297, 343, 315, 333. So out of from 2017 to 2022, pretty much every single year that he is playing, he batted above 290, which is crazy. That's ridiculous. He also does have a decent amount of power numbers. He put up 15 home runs the past 2 seasons. He did put up 18 home runs a couple seasons ago in 2018 as well. He was the MVP, not for this past World Series, but the World Series before that, I believe. Um, let's see. Should say it here. He won an MVP in 2020, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger. He went to the All-Star game in 2021. He had a 20-game hitting streak. Um, he was on the Vandals, so he did win, a few World Series in a row. So I feel like he kind of just got everything that he wanted, and now he just wants a different challenge and just wanted to get paid, I guess. So he came to the Outer Banks, but definitely deserves it. Everything that he's done, everything that he's contributed to the Vandals previously for, them winning the World Series, and like I said, the stats that he's put up is crazy. The man knows how to get on base. He knows how to hit. He already has 3 home runs this year already. 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. So, the Aviators ballpark is pretty friendly to, hitters. So, he may be able to produce more power than previously because of that ballpark. So, I guess we'll take a look and see. But, we don't really have a player like McDonald. Clem's a good player, just doesn't have enough experience, doesn't have enough TPE to be on the same level as McDonald as of right now. they do have the same archetype, and I can see, um, you know, I'm eventually getting up to this level and being like a McDonald's sort of person, but as of right now, there's no comparing any sort of infielder that we have to McDonald. Um, Let me just take that, and then we'll move on to, I believe this is the fourth reason. Yes, the fourth reason why would be another player on the team for the Aviators. And we're just going to stay with the McDonald's theme, and we're going to have to go with McCormick. I really like McCormick. I think McCormick's a great player as well. Let's pull up McCormick's stats. Okay, here's Kenny. Okay, so McCormick's been in the, you know, PBE for a while as well. So pretty much he's batting like 292, 287, 265, 275, 261, 290. Pretty much like I said about McDonald, he's more of a contact hitter. He's gonna get on base, he's gonna steal bases, he's just gonna do everything that he can to get on there. So, let's take a look at something real quick. Yeah, like last season he had 51 stolen bases, so I mean, I don't really think you can complain about that. If he's getting batting 261, the man's getting on base, he's hitting singles, hitting doubles, and he's stealing bases to get into, you know, he's stealing bases to get into scoring position, and then, like I said, if you have McDonald behind him, if you have, let's see, who else? Webster did really well last year. If you have Webster behind him, or Bobby Schmurder or something like that, they're going to be the people that are going to be able to drive in McCormick. And you know, comparing McCormick to the players we have on our team, another infielders, we have a rookie playing at first base, in McBash. We have Clem playing at shortstop, kind of out of position as of right now. So that's not too bad. We have an active person playing at second base. We have Delrod there, and then at third base we have Borthwell. I love Borthwell. I love all the people on our team, so it's not like I can't really say anything bad about that. I'm not going to, if there isn't anything bad. But it's just like I said, it's more of just like the experience and pretty much the TPE at this point that's why they're better than us. And like I said, eventually I feel like we'll come around and we'll make it there. Um, no. So yeah, so now we're gonna go on to the fifth and final point why I think the Aviators will finish above us. And like I said, primarily the thing with the Aviators is, excuse me, I'm sorry about that, that their middle infield is a lot better than ours, pretty much. Like I said, we have a rookie, we have an inactive playing second base, Climbs in his third year, and Borthwell, this is his second year. The thing is that, like I said, we don't have the experience there where, you know, Outer Banks does. Even though, besides Demetrius Webster, you guys have Tanner, you have McCormick, you have Connor McDonald. All three of those players have been you know, been well, producing well. I mean, Tanner's still only about 3 years in, but you know, primarily, like I said, the infield is just miles better than ours because of how inactive and not inactive. I'm sorry, inactive because George Delrod's inactive, but how inexperienced our players are. The more time we'll get, the better we'll get. But then, same thing's gonna happen with you guys as well. So it's just gonna be a race that we try to keep climbing up to. Um, so I mean, it'll be interesting, definitely, to see how the race between us does play out. Um, I'd like to say that we would win. Um, I I can't say for certain what what's gonna happen right now. If I had to pick right now, I mean, the past season we won. I mean, not we won, but we did finish above you guys. I believe it was only by a few games. I think we had 36 wins. Let's take a look. History. No. Um, Here it is. Okay. Last season. This season, you guys had 30 wins. We had 37. I mean, it's only about 7 games. I mean, kind of a lot. It's about like a series. In PBE, a little bit more than a series. So, I guess it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. I'd like to say that we all finish above you guys. I'm hoping that we do. So that's what I'm gonna say as of right now. Now, Keegan did have a few more questions as well. Um, One of them was who I think won the off season. Um, Now there's a couple, two teams that I think won the off season. This is primarily just excluding. Um, Actually, no, I'm not gonna. I was gonna exclude the draft, but I kind of need to include the draft with this. The first team is going to be the Scorpions. I feel like the Scorpions did pretty well this off season, including the draft, like I mentioned. Um, they were able to, they were able to get Di Stefano back. They were able to get a lot of draft picks as well. Um, I mean, the thing with that is that you never know how certain players are going to react or anything like that, or what exactly is going to happen. So, you know, um, it's definitely a gamble, and I guess we'll see what happens. But I definitely think one of the biggest things was getting Di Stefano back. I mean, everybody knew it was gonna happen pretty much. So, I mean, that's like it wasn't really that big of an off-season move, but it's still miles ahead of Mash leaving. If Mash left and like stayed with Krabs or something like that, there's no way I think that Death Valley would be able to compete this year at all. I mean, they have some good players. They have, Coffee, and oh my god, I can't think of the name. I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names. Give me 1 second. They got Biggio, they got Coffee, they got Jimmy Dong, they got Minju Do. Like, they have a lot of good players, but I just think without Di Stefano, it's gonna be hard to compete because he does provide a lot from that right field position, and a rookie coming in or whatever, whoever may be there is just not going to have the same production as him. Um, so that is the primary reason why I think, you know, Death Valley did win the off season. Also, I do want to mention the Aviators. I feel like the Aviators had a really good off season in regards to free agent signings. They had made two really big moves. Signing McDonald for that crazy contract and getting Smoltz, both needs that the Aviators had to get in order to compete and just get better as a team as a whole. So, I mean, you really can't ask for more than that. So, I mean, what's gonna happen is they're gonna be able to do really well. Hopefully, uh, hopefully not. Actually, I'm sorry. And then and then we'll see what happens from there. But I feel like those two free agents really helped out the Aviators and their chances of doing well this year. And I also did want to mention us, the Voyagers, because I mean I feel like we did have a good off season, but maybe just not compared to other teams because they did make some big splashes and stuff like that. Um, like I said, we're still a team that's rebuilding, so you know, as of right now, it's not really a hot destination for big name players to come to unless they're looking to get some money like McDonald or something like that. So it would I mean we got Russell, we got Turner. I think those were good pickups. I like Hawk Russell a lot. I mean Adams, an awesome guy. He's really cool. And I feel like Russell as a player is gonna, help us contribute more and hopefully, if he wants to stay longer or however long he wants to stay, maybe he can, hopefully he does help contribute to our success as a team overall. And we'll see what the season has in store for us. Hopefully, it is another progressive season in which we can get better. And now, the last question, I have one more question from Keegan. And his question was who I thought had the best draft this past season. And like I said, it's going to be split between two teams. One of them I did mention before, and we'll talk about them first, and that would be the Death Valley, the Scorpions. Um, the reason why I think Death Valley had the best draft, um, it may not because of it may not be because of the quality of their picks, even though they did pick up a lot of good players who I think will be good, like Speedy Boy, and let's take a look. Who else did I draft? Um, they got Smokey, they got Damian Wallach as well. So Jim Kekton, who I liked as well. So you know, it's like I said, the thing is that they have the quantity of draft picks. So, I mean, they didn't make a lot of trades. There was a lot of trades being made during, the draft this year. So it definitely helps them out in the long run, even if they may have traded away some future picks. If they think that these are the guys that, you know, that are going to be on the team, that are going to be active, and that want to be a part of, like, a winning team. So, I mean, then go get those guys, which I would do if I was like a GM or anything like that. And, like I said, I like Speedy Boy. And, like I said, I keep on saying like I said, I'm sorry. But, I guess we'll have to see what the future has in store for all those, rookies that were drafted this year, like Wallach and Speedy Boy, and you know, Smokey or anything like that. You know, if they stay active, if you know they stay on the Scorpions as well, at least that may be another thing that we look back at this draft and be like, you know, the Scorpions kind of got rid of a lot of their players, or they left after their contract was up or something, and you know that kind of does diminish the draft. But I feel like as of right now, they feel like as of right now that they have a really good team, a really good young squad as well, and you know, if they're able to mature them, if they're able to, you know, be active, get that TPE, update their players and everything like that, or do some jobs, do whatever, that they'll be able to, you know, be good eventually. Not going to be for a couple seasons, but I do like and oh, excuse me, I do like and respect the draft that the Scorpions that have this past season. Now there was another team that I did want to mention as well, and that would be the Sloths. Um, Pretty much it's the complete opposite reason of why I liked the Scorpions draft. Like I said, I like the Scorpions because of the quantity of their picks, because you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, really. But with the Sloths, I like more of the quality of their picks. I feel like even though they only did have a few picks, they only had 3 picks in this past draft, from what I'm looking at. It looks like. Yeah, they only had 3 picks because they had to give one up for the cap penalty. And I mean, they picked up Squiggly with their first pick in the you know, the first round. The second round, they picked up Bobby Hill. I really like Bobby Hill as well. I feel like he may be one of the better pitchers to come out of the draft in the end. Well, I guess we'll see how time tells if, you know, he'll just stay active. But I know I see him in the Discord talking all the time, asking questions, you know, just being, you know, discussing with other players. So it's already a good thing. But I like the slots draft, even if they did have just those 3 picks. I feel like those were good picks for them to help mentor, you know, a really good team that they already do have. Um, I mean, the slots, what they have, like one of the best offenses in the league. Is primarily what they're looking for is pitching. And I mean, they got 2 pitchers. They got a starting pitcher with Bobby Hill, and they also got a closer with Squiggly. If those guys stay active, if that's what they want to do, if they want to be a part of that team and stuff like that, then, you know, then they're going to do really well. I feel like the Sloths are a really good team, and they could make a good run for it this year as well. Um, but I mean, those picks will probably be for the future, and you know, only time will tell to see what's going to happen. And that's you know, pretty much it for the questions that I had from Keegan. I do appreciate you um, you know, posting the questions on the thread that I made. Thank you for that. And I did have one more question from teammate of mine, Isaac George McBash, who I mentioned previously, and his question was, what are outfield assists, and why are they the most important defensive metric in baseball? Um, Now, thank you for the question, Isaac. I love this question. Um, I mean, if you want me to define, you know, an outfield assist, I will for you. Generally speaking, what happens is the ball gets hit into the outfield, whether, you know, it's a fly ball or if it's like a ground ball and there's a runner trying to advance. What happens is if an outfielder throws them out, they get an outfield assist. I think that was primarily just directed towards Isaac. I don't think he really knew what it was, but I mean, he was the one that asked the question. But uh, and now, the second part of the question is, why are they the most important defensive metric in baseball? Um, can't say that they're the most important. I mean, I would like to think that they are, um, for selfish reasons, because I put a lot of TPE into my arm, so there's that. But I mean, I think they are pretty important for an outfielder. It's for me. I feel like an outfield assist is almost similar to how holding runners is for a pitcher. Um, it's your ability to control the men on base, which is kind of difficult from the outfield. But if you're able to throw people out, if you have the arm, or if you're able to, react fast enough, then it's extremely important for, defensive stats, and it should be included, in Gold Glove conversations, including like your zone rating, your errors, and everything like that. Um, so, but feel like it maybe it's not the most important because errors would be probably most important, but I'll put it at a number two, definitely number two. Um, I mean, I also did lead the league in assists last year, outfield assists, so would be nice if that would be a thing. It's not part of the leaderboards, but I can hope. Man can pray, right? um, but like I said, I feel like pretty much that the main thing with that is, like I said, like a holding runners sort of stats similar to pitchers, because the whole thing is that you're trying to limit your limit the opposing team from scoring, and it's definitely really helpful. Um, and that's really all the questions that I did have. I know I do have some time left, so I just wanted to discuss a couple of things in regards to just the league and my player itself. Just to give you guys some insight, I guess, about my daily goings. Um, like I said, my player's Philip J. Fry. My get kind of sucks. Um, Primary reason is that I put a lot of CP into Gap. If anybody ever does that, please don't do it. For your player, everybody wants to see their player do well, and Gap's really not the best starting point for a player. Um, the best way to do it, probably hitting wise, would probably be either contact or power. Uh, or like BAPIP or power, pretty much, depending on what you wanted to focus on. Um, what I wanted to do was be like an extra base hit sort of guy. So that's why I put it into Gap, but then I really couldn't hit the ball. I mean, my average is like just above 200, which is horrible. And, it kind of stinks as of right now, but I know eventually my guy will get better. I'm kind of just, slugging through the mud until it does happen. But, you know, there is, the redistribution of TPE, which you could always do, which I may do. I haven't really decided as of yet. But, I guess we'll take it from there. But I know I did mention it in the prior podcast I did with Nate and Clem or Moose, that Gap is the devil, and it kind of is. The best thing to do, like I said, is figure out what you want to do with your player and do what you want from there. If you want to put it into Gap, you can put it into Gap. I'm just letting you know from experience that is bad. Just don't do it because it doesn't really help any of your power or um, hitting stats, really. If you want to be someone that can contribute consistently, I would probably focus on one of those two things, like I said, power or contact. Either way, eventually your guy will be able to do really well. Um, Also, I did want to talk about the Voyagers a little bit. See, you know, exactly what's going on with us and what I think, will happen with us within the next couple of years. Um, I feel like our team is. I love our team. Everybody is just awesome. They're really cool people. All the people that we drafted, all the people that we have on the team, even old players that still talk to us, like Penny. Um, I miss FTR. Probably some of the other people do too as well. So it'd be nice if FTR came back, but like I said, I understand everybody has their own situations and everything. So, well, we'll have to power on through. But I love the direction that we're going in. Like I said, with the free agents we picked up, um, and the draft and everything, and the way Clem and Grotzinger have you know the way that they built this team is just awesome, and all the people that are on it are really, really nice and really cool. And this is the place I want to be. Don't want to go anywhere else. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. From you know, hopefully everything goes on well. I think we have a really bright future. A lot of our players are really like young, so in a few seasons, once we get around to that point where everybody's starting to get like a lot of TP and we're like a lot of people are able to produce, it's gonna be interesting to see, if we're gonna be able to make the playoffs. I'm hoping that we can make the playoffs relatively soon. Um, but it really does come down to me and everybody else doing everything they can, to just make the team better. Now, I also want to give you guys just a little, I guess, outlook for this season. Now, me, primarily, I'm gonna get better. That's really all I want to do is just get better as a player. Produce more, just more home runs, more RBIs, get on base, average, everything. Like I said, my guy's really not the best, but the more I upgrade, hopefully it'll be better soon. And but in regards to like our team, what I want from us, and I think it's been discussed with the team and with the managers is that our goal is that we all just like kind of wanna just progress every game that we can. If we can improve from last year, get like 37. We have 37 wins. Maybe we can hit 40 or something like that. It'd be awesome if we could. Um, what else? The thing is like it's gonna happen as all of us do. Get better. Like I said, we do have a lot of young players on the team, and we're not doing bad right now. We're 4-5 in the first sim. It's kind of hard to say, from that first sim, but I mean, Clem's batting over 300. We get Borthwell batting over 300. Um, no, Hawks doing okay. He's been like 230. Doesn't have any home runs. Pepe's good on home run. You know, thing is if we can get everything rolling, I think, you know, like I said, maybe not this year, maybe next year or anything like that. We'll definitely be a team that to be reckoned with, and I'm hoping that the other people on the Voyagers will be around and you know, want to be a part of that. And it seems like everybody does. You know, like I said, I love the team, love you guys. If you guys listen to this, please don't take anything that hard if I say anything like kind of weird. I just don't know what to say sometimes. Um, what else? So I guess the last thing that I'll do before I do end this will just do a little preview of what I think the standings will be at the end of the season. So let's do. I'll do the West first. So we got the Sloths, we got the Vandals, and we got the Scorpions. So what what I predicted at the beginning of this season for the season 6 prediction, like the PT thread. I think the Sloths will probably take the. They'll probably win that. I think they're gonna win that division. The thing, the main reason why is I think it's still. I mean, the Vandals are still a really good team. I just think the players that left were kind of big pieces, even though, like I said, they have other players that can, fit those shoes well. They're really not going to be, lacking. I mean, maybe like, Phil Mashioshi or whatever his name is. I mean, he's definitely not Connor McDonald, so that's going to hurt. But I mean, Vandals have really good pitching, so it's definitely a plus. But the thing is, I just think the Sloths are gonna take it. The Sloths just have their offense is just ridiculous. Shooting Julian O'Sullivan, Joffrey Baratheon, Beast 2, Roger Patton, I'm pretty sure won MVP last year as well. Silver Slugger. I thought these stats were on the players. I don't see it on here. Maybe I'm just looking for it at the wrong spot. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Roger Baton, um, Judy, Julian O'Sullivan, Robert Phelps, Sophia Bennett. I mean, Stephen O'Sullivan. Like that core lineup, pretty much from 1 through 6, really, is just phenomenal. I don't know. I don't know how you could beat that. It's gonna be tough. But I mean, if anybody was to do it, it would probably be a team like the Vandals because they have the pitchers that can stop them from doing something like that. Um, so I guess we'll take a look and see how the season progresses. But I'm thinking that what's going to happen in the West is the Slots will win that division. The Vandals will be in second, and then the Scorpions will round it out. Now, in regards to the East, what I'm gonna say, the Crabs, the Crabs just outclass all of us, really, in that division. So it's it's really gonna be difficult for either one of us to kind of beat them in that division just because of the players that they have. I mean, they've got They got Home Run Derby, Winter Boss, they got Stanton, they got Columbus, they got Valentine, Keeks. Uh, I mean, their offense, they're pitching too. They have Randy Koufax, Ernesto Castillo, Tyler Olds. They have Cowers and Borkman too, Pete Rose. It's not a team to really be fucked around. And I feel like they just, I don't know, maybe the first time just listened too kindly to them. I don't really remember who they played. Let's take a look. Could have been. I mean, they played the Vandals, so maybe that's why. And then they played the Aviators. Was that the first game they played against the Aviators? No, they played 2 games against the Aviators, and as of right now, it's split. It's just 1-1. So, I mean, I feel like the more that they play against us and the Aviators, the record's gonna climb. I guess we'll just have to see what it'll climb up to, but I mean, they'll be the first seed. I think we're gonna get the 2, and then Outer Banks will round it out. Now, in regards to playoffs, I feel like it's just gonna be the same 3 teams from last year. It's gonna be Vandals, Crabs, and Sloths. Now, I think the Sloths will have the best record, so they'll get the bye, or whatever they call it, and in the PBE, and the Vandals and Crabs will play each other in the first playoff matchup in that best-of-5 series for a rematch of last year. I never really thought this far, but I feel like the Crabs will probably win it. They'll get their revenge back, but I don't know. I just feel like the Salts are too good. I'm gonna say the Salts are gonna win the PBE championship this year. I think everybody's kind of tired of the Vandals winning it 4 years in a row, 3 years in a row. I don't know how long. I don't really care. But I mean, even like the Salts pitching. I mean, Khan had a perfect game, first perfect game, and he threw it against us. I'm sorry, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm yawning. No, but Kanye threw his first perfect game, in the league's first perfect game against us. That was crazy. Yeah, I can't believe that happened, but I mean, congrats to him. I like to say that. Pretty amazing. I didn't think that happened. I mean, against us, I would have assumed it would be against us, but that's still pretty crazy. Congrats. And I mean, Chaz, the lock, he's good too. They got Ovechkin. I feel like they're just the most rounded team as of right now, and I feel like the Vandals would be higher up if it wasn't for the free agencies. Um, the free agents that did leave, but I guess we'll have to see how the rest of the season does play out, though. Um, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Unless I can think of anything within the next few seconds. Just talking off the top of my head, but can't really think of much. I'll probably have another podcast come out soon. If you guys, anybody has any questions, any more questions, hopefully, I can get some more questions. I do appreciate both Isaac and Keegan again. Thank you, both of you, for posting your questions on the forum. Like I said, I understand everybody has lives and they're not always on the website. So, hopefully, if anybody would like to join, you're always welcome to do that as well. The more people, the merrier. I kind of just did this because I need money so I can buy my trainings and stuff. But yeah, if anybody's ever interested, would love to talk to some people about, you know, the league or teams in general, what their points of view are, anything like that. And definitely more questions would help as well, instead of me just kind of mm, talking off the top of my head. Um, yeah, but I can't really think of anything else right now. But yeah, screen's gone black. So I guess that's a goodbye. If like I said, if you guys want to do something, I'm on Discord all the time. It's Pazuzu on Discord, same as my username on the forums. And send me like a message or tag me or something. If you want to do a podcast if you're looking for money. Also, if anybody does do podcasts, I grade them. So you can message me on there and I'll take a listen to them at work or whenever I do have free time to, take a look, listen it over. I'll put like a comment on there just letting you know I listened to it. I don't want you to feel like I'm just not actually listening, actively listening at least. But yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast, and you know, hopefully the season goes well for all of you, especially everybody on the Voyagers. Bye, guys.